Adversaries are harvesting encrypted data today, waiting to decrypt it once quantum computers are powerful enough. Absolutely. And what we must realize that this is not even a future threat. It is happening right now. Adversaries are harvesting encrypted data today, waiting to decrypt it once quantum computers are powerful enough. Most organizations have not even started their transition. And I developed the practical post-quantum transition framework that explains in clear terms, cuts through the market hype and vendor noise, and makes transition manageable without overwhelming teams. To help organizations take action, I also run tabletop exercises, teaching them how to become crypto agile. And in these quantum security connections, I poll participants at the start and again at the end. The shift in the room is remarkable. People arrive feeling this is unmanageable, tearing their hair out, and they leave with the confidence of knowing exactly what to do next. So the UK National Cybersecurity Centre says to be fully migrated by 2035 and complete detailed planning by 2028. And Google has now set its own internal full migration deadline of 2029. They cite faster than expected advances in quantum computing, and that is a sentiment I see across the board, reflected in strong government guidance globally. Google is one of the organizations actually building these machines, so their move deserves serious attention. Large organizations typically need at least 5 years to complete a full cryptographic overhaul, and some need double that. So 2035 is by no means generous. We have to take action now. My practical post-quantum transition framework is designed to start delivering security improvements from day one. It tells you where to start and how to make it through without overloading your teams and your budget. And you're not actually just building for a future problem in isolation. You're building a more resilient architecture today that also protects against other current threats like ransomware, AI-enabled attacks, and supply chain compromise from day one. Yeah, of course. So the first common mistake is treating post-quantum cryptography migration as a technology project and handing it to the security team. It is not a technology project, it's a whole org transformation. The data that needs protecting sits in HR, in legal, in finance, not just in what Dora calls critical business processes. Now, the second common mistake is starting with the cryptographic inventory. Contrary to the mantra that everyone repeats, I advise organizations to enhance their data security posture first. To become quantum secure, organizations must answer the business question, what are we actually protecting and how long does it need to stay secret? Now, my practical post-quantum transition framework starts there, and it is designed to deliver security improvements from day one. It is built to be adaptable for any size organization and any size team. Well, in my industry conversations, I kept seeing the same pattern. Organizations wanted to move on post-quantum cryptography, but they felt isolated. They did not know where to start or what their peers were doing. They couldn't assess the vendor landscape effectively, and they struggled staying current as regulation and standards evolved. That's why my Quantum Security Connection Network brings cross-sector practitioners together, and both public and private organizations and CNI, critical national infrastructure. For example, I run structured quantum preparedness tabletop exercises, and what happens in the room is genuinely remarkable. People arrive feeling this problem is unmanageable and tearing their hair out. But afterwards, they feel confident with a clear plan and a peer network that they can lean on. I also published the Quantum Security Intelligence Report, and that came out of the same insight. This community needs a shared, trusted source of what is actually happening to help them cut through the hype and separate signal from noise. The organizations that get this right will not just be safer, they will be ahead. Early adopters in financial services and pharmaceuticals are already extracting value from actual quantum computing, not just bracing for the risks. So understanding the technology positions you to benefit from it, not merely survive it. That's why I'm working on a white paper called Practical Quantum Mechanics. And of course, as with any complex transformation, starting with a structured migration on time means less last-minute scrambling, lower overall cost, and readiness when the regulation arrives, rather than a reactive, expensive catch-up. The cost of doing nothing is something that can be quantified, and I also talk about that in my Cambridge University program. But all in all, my practical post-quantum transition framework is designed to help organizations achieve exactly this competitive advantage. And make no mistake, the commercial consequences of deferring are already here. Insurers are beginning to price in quantum risk. Procurement teams require evidence of readiness, and clients are asking questions that organizations without a plan cannot answer. Quantum readiness is a differentiator right now, not in 2035. Well, it is really important to me that audiences leave energized and ready to act. And for me, two things are key to that. Firstly, I'm making complex topics clear and accessible. And secondly, I excel at engaging the audience. Especially with topics like quantum and AI risk, my job is cutting through the hype and giving clear, actionable guidance. One thing I never pander to is fear-mongering. And I always make sure the audience leaves something practical in their toolkit, a Monday morning action. That is how we achieve the change that matters. Also, as a frequent conference visitor myself, I think it is absolutely critical as a speaker and moderator to provoke new thoughts and outcomes. As audience, I wouldn't expect anything less. So that means I effectively challenge the status quo and the comfortable assumptions that you hear at so many conferences. And you know what? Occasionally I want to make people laugh because we're humans and not machines. So related to that, I'm also known for helping my audiences connect with each other, and that always gets a really lively response. So as a facilitator, it is my job and my pleasure to get people off their phones and into the real world, interacting with each other and the conference content. You see, we need to build our network in quiet times so that we can rely on each other when it all falls down. As a preparedness advocate, I also published my Practical Post-Quantum Transition Framework for free, and I run the Quantum Security Connection event series so that people know how to prepare and have a network of people to lean on as they navigate this transition together.